How's it going, everybody? So in today's video I'm going to be explaining what support and resistance lines are and show you on different charts on the Thinkorswim platform. So let me pull up the platform real quick. Okay, so this is the Thinkorswim platform. I know it looks extremely complicated, but in the later videos I'll explain what all of these are. Basically, this is the platform I use to chart. So to start, these are my watch lists. These are the different stocks I'm watching. On the right side, this is the actual chart with the price, the chart, the watch list. So this is my current watch list that I'm watching for today's day trades. This is something called the RSI, which I'll explain in another video. The MACD. These are two indicators that I use to choose whether I'm buying or selling. When to buy, when to sell, and you can change a lot of things. So I'm going to explain the way I trade. You're definitely more than welcome to try different studies, do research, but you're able to add different studies through this. There are other studies and such. So we're going to go through a couple different charts. I'll go through names that you've heard of just so you have an idea of what to look for when you're looking for supports and resistances. So the first thing I'll pull up is SHOP. You guys have heard of Shopify. This is the ticker symbol for it. Okay, so a ticker symbol is the way a stock is identified. So let's say I want to look at Amazon. I would go, what is their ticker symbol? AMZN. And I can pull up Amazon's chart. If I want to look at, let's say, Netflix, NFLX, this is their chart. And there are different time frames for charts. So there's 5-minute charts, 4-hour charts. So if I pull back to the 180-day and 4-hour, I can get an idea of what this chart does in the 4-hour movements. There's going to be a lot to break down, but bear with me and you'll have a greater understanding of what I'm talking about. So to look at, let's take Netflix for example. We're going to look up the ticker symbol, NFLX, and pull up the chart. Let me remove something so that it makes it easier to understand. Let me just pull up the chart itself. Okay, so we have here Netflix. So in the previous video I talked about supports and resistance lines. So let's take a look at the front of the chart. The chart came up. This is on the 1-year chart. Okay, so the chart in December 28th of 2017, the chart was, the price was at $186. The price moved up. These are called candlesticks. In the next video, I can explain candlesticks to y'all, but basically it is the price at which the stock moved for a single day. So on my chart right now, I'm looking at the daily chart. So it's a 1-year daily chart, and each candlestick represents a day. Let's say I go to the 5-day or the 1-day 5-minute. Each candlestick will represent a 5-minute increment. So to make it easier, we'll go to the 1-year 1-day. In December of last year, the price was around 190. So it moved up and hit this area of about 280. You can see on the right here is the prices. So if you look on the right, it hit an area of about 280. Then it came down, bounced, pushed up, and broke this resistance here. Okay? Pushed up, continued to push up, and once it pushed up, it pulled back. What is a pullback? A pullback is when a stock pushes up and then sells off. That is called a pullback. So the stock came up, then it pulled back. Now look, this is where this previous resistance was. You see at around 280, there was a previous resistance. This made this resistance here. Pulled back, pushed up, broke this level, pushed up, pulled back. Right around this level, it bounced. So this just goes to show that a previous resistance, which was around 280, became an area of support. Resistances become new support levels. So it pushed up, pulled back, bounced around 280, then came up again. And you see here, it could not break the $335 area. Well, it came up, got to around 335, and because this was a previous resistance here, it pulled back. Then it pushed up again and broke. Now it broke this previous resistance, pushed up really high, pulled back, pushed up again, could not break this level here because this is a new resistance. Came down, and look, here that I drew this support, it came down and it bounced here. Then it broke this level. So this chart might be a little bit difficult to understand, but I hope you can understand that when it pushes up, breaks a previous resistance, that old resistance will become an area of new support. Let's move on to another ticker so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Like I said, ticker symbols are the little symbols that identify each stock so you can pull up their charts or their information. Here's another stock that I've been watching. It's called DocuSign. So we'll go to the 180-day 4-hour chart to see. Here's a good example of resistances and supports. So this stock came down, made a support around $51 and a resistance around $56, $56.50. So it came down, bounced around 50, pushed up, hit 56, pulled down, bounced around 50, pushed up, hit 56, came down, bounced around 50, again pushed up to 56. And this is a stock that's actually bouncing between the support and resistance very well. And then when it pushed and broke the previous resistance of 56, pushed up, and then when it came back and had a pullback, it bounced at the previous resistance, which became a new support. So in the longer time frame, excuse me, my throat is a little dry. So it pushed up, pulled back. This old resistance here became a new support, and it bounced here, and then it's made its move higher. We'll pull up one more ticker symbol so you have an idea. What's another? Let's go to IBM. We can look at IBM's stock. Ooh, this is going to be difficult to. We want to look at charts and trade charts that are easy to understand, because if they're easier to understand, that means more traders see them and understand them. Let's look at a stock like Facebook. Okay, if we look at Facebook on the 1-year chart, we can see that this was a previous resistance here. So I've drawn these lines already, but you can see that it came up here, hit this resistance, pulled back. We can even draw this as a potential support line. So it came up, hit this area, pulled back, hit this support line. You see how it's not breaking this level? Came up, hit this area of resistance, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up. Then once it broke this level of resistance, it fell. Now, resistances and supports, when they're broken, you need to look back further on the chart to see where a new support will be created. So if we look further on the chart, this is the 3-year weekly chart. Because it broke that previous support, it fell down to another support level, which was down here, and where it's bouncing at currently. This chart is a little bit more choppy, but I hope this video gives you an idea of what supports and resistances are. Once you learn how to chart further, in the future you'll be able to understand better how to make an understanding of what supports and resistances are. If you have any questions on this video about supports and resistances, feel free to contact me, send me a direct message so that I can clear things up. Thank you.